Yo, so how to connect with people. Most people do not do this, and I'm going to share with you the secrets of connecting with people. So, first of all, um, let me describe what connecting is before we get into it. So, connecting with people, from my experience, um, is sharing, is understanding the person. Number one, understanding them, sharing the same vision as somebody, but it doesn't mean you have to have everything in common at all. And also having an emotional time, whether it's laughter, whether it's crying, whether it's just a vulnerability. So so Okay, so that's how I kind of describe connecting, and also like know, like, and trust them, so know, like, and trust them, have an emotional moment, and making them feel like you understand them, and they understand you. But first, seeking to, so the first thing, okay, so diving right into it. The first thing is, instead of being interesting, be interested. A lot of people just try to be like, oh yeah, I do this for work, I'm proud of that, and people will not connect with you if you're prideful about what you're doing. People want you to be interested in them. So first you have to be interested versus interesting. Most people just try to be interesting, like to say the coolest thing, and that's not going to connect you with people as well. You're going to make more friends in two months than you would in 2 years by being interested in people. So truly, and what does that mean? Being interested in people means you ask them questions genuinely from the bottom of your heart, and you actually care about what they're saying. You actually listen, hear them out. So, for example, just asking them a lot of questions, not just the normal questions like, how are you doing? And then just looking away and just going to somebody else, or not just asking them, what do you do for work? And then looking away, being like, what was the best part of your day? Or what is your purpose in life? Or how's your soul doing? Things like that. Questions that people don't get asked. They'll be like, it'll stop them and make them think like, oh, that's actually, and wait and stay there. Don't just ask the question and leave. So ask the question, ask an interesting question what's your favorite childhood memory? Ask a different question than they're used to be asking. Not just how are you doing? They'll just say good normally, or fine, how are you? So ask interesting questions, not only, but also ask them genuinely. And it takes practice to ask them genuinely. At first, I was scared to ask people, what was the best part of your day? I would always try a mentor of mine, named Jay Mart. He was like, I asked people what the best part of their day is. And I was like, I really wanted to, but I was like scared to for some reason. But whenever I talk to people now, so it takes practice. The point is, it takes practice to actually learn how to genuinely ask a question. It's not going to be like you're the perfect interviewer right off the bat. Interviewers don't just wake up and be like, oh, I'm an interview. It takes practice, just like sports, just like music, just like drawing, just like anything you're good at. So anyways, going over that, ask genuinely, like, and actually be interested. But all that takes is practice. Maybe at the start you'll be really bad at it, and people are like, why are you asking me that? Because I used to get that more, and now people realize that I'm genuinely interested because I practiced it. Anyways, so ask interesting, different questions, and ask it and do it often, and you'll get better and better at it. The next thing is seeking to understand versus be understood. Most people will come into a conversation selfishly, and they'll be like, what can I get out of this? And they'll okay. You see this. I see this often, so often that it's more than you would. I mean, so when somebody tells you a story, okay? Or when somebody tells you about their job, or when somebody tells you, mainly it happens when somebody tells a story or something that happened in their life or something, but they'll tell a story, and then the other person that they're talking to will just jump into, oh, I relate to that, so I'm going to tell a story that relates to that. That's a mistake. Or you're going to say, oh, my mom worked. So for example, if somebody asks you, hey, or if somebody tells you, hey, like, my mom works at this grocery store, it's really fun. Don't just be like, oh, I haven't my aunt that works at the grocery store. That's a mistake. That will not connect you with people. That'll, yes, people are used to it because it's so common, but instead of being like, oh, your aunt works at the grocery store, instead of being like, my aunt works at the grocery store as well, or my grandma works at the grocery store, ask them about it. Be like, huh, what does she do there? Be interested about it. And that goes into being interested, but I really want to get this in your head because most people do not do this. Seek to understand what they're saying. Like, don't, like, okay, say they're in IT. Well, what kind of IT? Like, okay, cybersecurity. Okay, so what is the best part of cybersecurity? You know, it's like people really know you start to care when you ask them the questions. For example, if somebody tells you their kids' names, or if somebody tells you about their kids and they're really excited about it, don't just be like, go out and talk to you about your kids and be like, oh yeah, my kids play sports as well. No. What you have to do is you don't have to do this, but if you want to connect with people, you'll be like, oh, how old are your kids? What are their names? What else do they like to do? You know what I mean? So I know I'm saying this pretty much the same thing, interested in people and trying to understand them. But seriously, guys, this is like the biggest thing that most people do not do. And be excited about people. Do not just be like, oh, cool, and then go to your subject. Like, people will not like you like that. Like, people will not like that. And also, learn to laugh at yourself. Learn to laugh at nothing at all, because, you know, as kids, you remember the time when you were a kid where your friends were laughing and you were just trying to be serious. Like, the adults were like, hey, be serious, and you're just like, what? Like, you're just cracking up for no reason. And that is what you have to bring back. You have to, so self-amusement. Be okay being by yourself and laugh at yourself by yourself, and then bring that to other people and be able to be like, hey, nice to meet you. My name is Aaron. And then, or when you say, how are you doing? And somebody says, good, how are you? And then the other person says, good, how are you again? You're like, oh, I just asked you that, awkward. Or just laugh at little things like that. Don't take everything so seriously, because people will remember how they made you feel. People will remember how you made them feel, not what you said. So don't worry about what you say. Don't be like, oh, I don't know if I should say this, or just connect with people and emotions. People will remember emotions over everything. So if you say something stupid, laugh at it. If you are super awkward, laugh at it. If you say hi to somebody and somebody ignores it, laugh at it. All right. God bless. I know this was a long video, but I have a lot to say about this subject. I can't wait to, let me know what you guys think about it, and I'll talk to you later. God bless.